Have you ever thought that leadership is about power? The power to give orders, the power to make others obey you? Most people believe that. And you know what? That is one of the biggest misconceptions about leadership. The truth is, leadership is not about power, not about standing on a high pedestal or being called boss. True leadership is the ability to influence, the ability to make others want to follow you, not because they fear you, but because they believe in what you stand for. Let me ask you a question. Do you want to be someone whom people respect and follow, or someone they obey only out of fear? If your answer is that you want to be respected to create a real impact, then you need to understand that the golden rule of leadership does not lie in power, but in how you act, how you think, and how you live each day. Imagine a leader as a great tree. That great tree does not shout loudly or threaten the surrounding trees to make them grow straight. It stands firm, with deep roots and wide branches. And every creature comes to it because it provides shade, shelter, and sweet fruit. That is the true strength of leadership. You influence others through strength without oppression, kindness without weakness, confidence without arrogance. In this video, I want you to join me in exploring the 5 golden principles of leadership. Principles that, if you practice them, will not only make you a leader, but also someone whom others willingly follow and want to learn from. And remember this, you do not need to be born a leader. Leadership is a skill, an art, and like any other skill, you can learn and develop it every day. Now, ask yourself, am I leading others or just following the flow of life? Am I becoming someone others want to learn from or just someone who gives orders? If your answer is, I want to become a true leader, then join me in exploring the first golden principle, because every great change begins with awareness and the decision to act. Recall the image of the great tree we just mentioned, standing firm with deep roots and wide branches, providing shade and sweet fruit for all creatures around it. Do you know why that great tree becomes so strong? It does not stand tall just once and become mighty. It grows every day, every hour, enduring rain, sun, and storms, gradually becoming a place where every creature seeks refuge. A leader is the same. If you want to lead others, you must start by planting your own roots. You must develop yourself, cultivate your qualities, practice discipline, and learn to manage your emotions, time, decisions, and actions. A leader cannot simply stand there and give orders. They must live by the standards they want others to follow. Imagine a group of employees. If the manager is always late, unprepared, or fails to keep promises, do you think they will respect and follow that manager? The answer is never. On the other hand, if the leader is always well prepared, punctual, transparent, and keeps their promises, employees will naturally follow suit. This is the power of leading by example. You do not need to shout or command. You just need to become the best version of yourself, and others will follow naturally. I want you to ask yourself, are you becoming someone others want to learn from and follow, or are you just giving orders? This is an important question because many people are so focused on seeking power or titles that they forget leadership comes not from titles, but from the influence you create every day. A true leader must know how to manage themselves, manage time, know how to allocate time for work, learning, and rest. So you are always alert and energized to lead, manage emotions, know how to control anger, frustration, or anxiety to respond calmly and inspire others. Manage actions. Act consistently with your values and standards. If you say honesty is important but act dishonestly in work, you will lose credibility forever Think about your daily habits. Every habit, no matter how small, shapes the image of your leadership in the eyes of others. Being punctual, keeping promises, taking time to learn, practicing communication skills, and solving problems. All these things accumulate over time. This is why a great leader is always someone who never stops learning and developing themselves. A real-life example, I know a sales manager who always arrives 15 minutes early. He does not boast about it, but just by observing how he prepares, everyone in his team starts waking up early, preparing thoroughly, and approaching work seriously. He does not give orders, but the influence he creates is stronger than any command. This is proof that leadership begins with yourself before you can lead others. And remember, leadership is not an innate skill. No one is born a perfect leader. Leadership is a journey of developing yourself every day. Each time you build a good habit, face a challenge, or take responsibility for your actions, you are planting the roots for your leadership tree. And others will naturally follow the wide branches you create. So, the final question for you now is, have you truly become someone others can follow? Have you invested enough in yourself to become the leader people respect? If the answer is no, do not worry. The journey starts today. When you develop yourself, all the other golden principles of leadership, strong but not rude, kind but not weak, courageous but not bullying, humble but not timid, proud but not arrogant, will become easier to apply naturally and convincingly. And now we will move to the first golden principle, strong but not rude, where you will learn how to use strength to lead others, not through power, but through true influence. We have just finished the first part where I emphasize that leadership begins with yourself. You have understood that before leading others, you must become someone they can trust, learn from, and follow. When you have invested in yourself, the first golden principle emerges naturally. Strong but not rude. Imagine a ship captain navigating through a stormy sea. He must make decisions quickly when the storm hits. If he hesitates, if he is weak, the crew will panic and the ship will be in danger. But if he is strong in his decisions, they will feel reassured. Follow him, and things will stabilize. But here is the important thing most people do not understand. Strength does not mean oppression or intimidation. A rude leader makes others follow out of fear, and that influence is not lasting. People led by fear will only obey when you are present. In contrast, being strong but not rude means you create influence through consistency, decisiveness, and your own qualities, not through power or threats. Let me tell you a story. I know a manager in a manufacturing company. When an issue arose with an important client, he stepped up and decided how to handle it immediately. But what was special was that he explained the reasons, listened to feedback from the team, and then made a decisive decision. The employees did not feel forced. They respected him because his strength was balanced with respect and transparency. This is the power of true leadership. No shouting, no imposing, yet people willingly follow you. Being strong but not rude also means daring to take responsibility for all your decisions. Even if the results are not perfect, a strong leader never blames circumstances, others, or luck. They face the truth, take responsibility, and find solutions. Remember this saying, I always remind people, you must take personal responsibility. You cannot change the circumstances, but you can change yourself. If you take responsibility for yourself, you will lead others naturally and with credibility. Imagine you are managing a small team. An employee makes a serious mistake. You can handle it in two ways. Yell, impose, and make them feel afraid and lose confidence. Or you can stay calm. Analyze the problem, explain the consequences, and guide them on how to fix it. The second way is strong but not rude. You still maintain authority, ensure accountability, but the employee feels respected and wants to learn from you. Another way to see this principle is through daily behavior. When assigning tasks to employees, ensure your requests are clear, reasonable, and supported by specific reasons. When there is conflict in the team, be courageous in resolving it, but do not use power to suppress when making tough decisions. Be transparent about the reasons and take responsibility for the outcomes. Remember, a leader who is strong but not rude knows that true strength comes from consistency, courage, and the ability to inspire, not from imposing. When you practice this principle, people will follow you because they want to, not because they have to. You will see that your influence is stronger than any command or rallying cry. Another example from everyday life. In a classroom, a strict but fair teacher makes students study voluntarily. They know the teacher is consistent, yet respectful, not imposing or judging unfairly. They willingly learn and grow because they respect that teacher. A leader in a business is the same. The stronger and more consistent you are while respecting others, the more you create lasting respect and loyalty. And now, I want you to ask yourself, am I strong in my decisions while still respecting others? Do I have the courage to stand firm in challenges without oppressing or scaring others? Am I living by the standards I want others to learn from? If the answer is no, then this is your chance to start. Be strong, but not rude. Be decisive, but respectful. Be courageous, but not oppressive. When you practice this principle, people will willingly follow you, and your true leadership strength will shine without any need for shouting. And when you have mastered this principle, we will move to the second golden principle. Kind, but not weak, where you will learn how to foster loyalty, respect, and motivation from your team while maintaining your authority and influence. We have just learned about the first golden principle, strong but not rude. You have seen that the strength of leadership does not come from power or oppression, but from decisiveness, consistency, and taking responsibility for your actions. When you are strong but not rude, people willingly follow you, not out of fear, but because they respect you. And now, I want to dive into the second golden principle, kind but not weak. Imagine you are leading a team. You can choose to lead with cold strictness, or you can choose to lead with kindness, and respect for others. But kindness here does not mean weakness. You can be kind and respectful while still standing firm, setting principles, and requiring others to follow them. This is one of the principles many overlook. They think kindness means being lenient, not setting boundaries, and letting others do as they please without control. But the truth is, a truly kind leader never confuses kindness with weakness. Let me tell you a story. I know a mid-level manager in a service company. When an employee struggled to complete a project, instead of yelling or punishing, he listened, shared solutions, guided, and supported the employee to overcome the challenge. The employee felt respected, and their motivation increased. But when the employee repeated the same mistake multiple times without improvement, he firmly set boundaries and required immediate correction. The result, the employee still respected him, but they also understood that kindness does not mean a lack of boundaries. That is the power of this principle. Kindness builds trust, loyalty, and respect, while firmness ensures that work standards are maintained. Another everyday example, in a classroom, a teacher not only imparts knowledge, but also cares about each student, understanding their difficulties. But when a student repeats a mistake, the teacher requires correction and doing it right. The students learn to respect, act voluntarily, and understand that kindness comes with responsibility. A leader is the same. Kindness creates a positive impact, but it must be paired with firmness. This principle also relates to how you build a team or company culture. A team led with kindness but clear principles will be more loyal because they feel cared for, work harder because they understand the value of the work and transparency, be willing to learn because they are not afraid of making mistakes, knowing they will be guided to improve. Think about how you interact with your team or employees. Do you listen to them and care about their needs while still setting clear expectations? Can you support them through difficulties without losing your authority and influence? Do you inspire them to work better through respect and kindness rather than threats or pressure? An important principle I want you to remember. Kindness must come with responsibility and clear boundaries. Without boundaries, kindness becomes weakness. With boundaries, kindness becomes strength, a tool for effective leadership and influence. Ask yourself right now, am I kind but firm when needed? Can I help others grow while maintaining work standards and principles? Do I have the courage to set boundaries when necessary while still maintaining kindness and respect? If the answer is no, then today is the time to start. Practice this principle every day. Listen, kare, support, but always have clear boundaries and principles. When you do this, loyalty, respect, and motivation from your team will grow naturally, and your leadership authority will become sustainable. And when you have mastered this second principle, we will move to the third golden principle, courageous but not bullying, where you will learn how to face challenges and make tough decisions without losing the respect and trust of your team. We have explored the first two golden principles, strong but not rude, and kind but not weak. If you practice these two principles well, you have built a solid foundation. You are both decisive and lead without imposing, and you foster loyalty and respect from your team while maintaining principles. Now, let us dive into the third principle, courageous but not bullying, one of the most critical factors in becoming a true leader. Imagine you are facing a tough decision. It could be cutting budgets, changing strategies, or rejecting an attractive but unfeasible project. Courage does not mean recklessness, and bravery does not mean using power to bully others. Courage is daring to stand up, take responsibility for your decisions, and face the consequences, while still maintaining respect and transparency with everyone. Let me tell you a story. I know a CEO in the tech industry who had to make a tough decision, lay off a group of employees to save the company from a financial crisis. Instead of issuing orders coldly, he was transparent about the reasons, explained the decision, listened to feedback, and ensured the remaining employees understood that the decision was necessary to protect the jobs of many others. The result? Though it was painful, employees still respected him. They saw that courage paired with respect and transparency is the right way to lead. A courageous but not bullying leader knows that tough decisions are their responsibility, not an opportunity to show power or pressure others. And here is the key. If you make tough decisions but use power to force compliance, you will lose respect. But if you make tough decisions, explain clearly, take responsibility, and respect others, respect for you will multiply. An everyday example, in a classroom, a teacher decides to change the grading system to improve quality, some students object, but the teacher does not use authority to impose. Instead, they explain the reasons, listen to opinions, and make reasonable adjustments. As a result, students feel respected and commit to doing better. Leadership in the workplace is similar. Courageous but not bullying is the way to create motivation instead of fear. This also extends to managing conflict. A courageous leader does not avoid conflict, but they also do not provoke or suppress. They face the issue head on, deal with the truth, and resolve it fairly, transparently, and respectfully to all parties. When you do this, conflicts are no longer a threat, but an opportunity to build trust and unity. Ask yourself right now, do I dare to make tough decisions without using power to suppress? Am I ready to take responsibility for the consequences without avoiding or blaming others? Can I face challenges while maintaining the respect and loyalty of my team? If the answer is no, then today is the time to start. Practice being courageous but not bullying in every decision, from small daily tasks to major decisions in work and life. When you do this, you will see your leadership strength grow sustainably. People follow you because they trust you, not because they fear you. And when you have mastered this third principle, we will move to the fourth golden principle, humble but not timid, where you will learn how to lead with confidence and humility at the same time, so others both respect and feel inspired by you. Now I want to talk about the fourth principle, humble but not timid. One of the things many leaders overlook, but it is extremely important. Imagine you are a leader standing before your team. You can choose to show off your power, saying, I know everything, and want people to look at you with fear. Or you can choose to be humble, yet confident, acknowledging that you do not know everything, but ready to make decisions and lead effectively. That is humble but not timid. Humility is not about lowering yourself, not about lacking confidence or being timid in the face of challenges. Humility is knowing that you can still learn that others also have value and their contributions matter, and that makes you stronger. But for humility to pair with effective leadership, you must not be timid, not afraid to make decisions, not afraid to stand up in tough moments. Let me tell you a real-life example. I know a young CEO who always respects her team's opinions. When developing a new strategy, she does not hesitate to listen to ideas, discuss, and even adjust some decisions. But once she evaluates and chooses the final plan, she implements it decisively, confidently, without hesitation. Her employees respect her, not only for the respect she gives them, but also for the confidence paired with humility. Another example, look at leaders in nonprofit organizations. They often do not need power or titles to make others work with them. They are humble, knowing each individual has value, but they are not timid. They take responsibility, lead projects, and make tough decisions. As a result, they create lasting impact without imposing or coercing. This principle is also crucial when resolving conflicts or giving difficult feedback. A humble leader does not force others to admit fault just to save face, but they are not timid about pointing out mistakes. Frankly, they are transparent, honest, and set an example. That is how they earn respect and inspire others to follow. Ask yourself right now, am I humble enough to learn from others, but not timid in the face of responsibility or challenges? Am I confident in my decisions, even when I know I do not have all the answers? Am I inspiring my team with both humility and decisiveness? If the answer is no, then today is the time to start. Practice being humble but not timid in every decision, every meeting, every daily interaction. When you do this, you will see that your employees or team will trust you more. People will be more willing to share ideas and contribute. Your authority and influence will become sustainable because it is based on respect and trust, not fear. And remember, when you combine this principle with the previous three, strong but not rude, kind but not weak, courageous but not bullying, you have become a leader who not only has influence but also inspires, motivates, and builds lasting loyalty from your team. Next, we will move to the fifth golden principle, proud but not arrogant, where you will learn how to be confident in your value and achievements without making others feel overwhelmed or disrespected. We have gone through 4 golden principles: strong but not rude, learning to be decisive while still being respected, kind but not weak, building trust and loyalty while maintaining principles, courageous but not bullying, facing challenges without losing others' respect, humble but not timid, learning and respecting others while standing firm in decisions. If you practice these 4 principles, you have a very solid leadership foundation. And now, I want to talk about the 5th golden principle, proud but not arrogant, a principle often overlooked by many leaders, but extremely important to complete the leadership image and maintain respect from others. Think about pride. Pride is recognizing your own value, acknowledging the efforts and achievements you have accomplished. It is a rightful feeling, an inner confidence that helps you stand firm in challenges and lead others with dignity. But pride must not turn into arrogance, must not make others feel overwhelmed, small, or demotivated. Let me tell you a story. I know an entrepreneur who built a company from nothing. He knows his value and is proud of what he has achieved. But what makes him great is not his wealth or success, but how he shares the results with his team. He acknowledges everyone's efforts, reminds them that success is a collective result, yet stands firm with his decisions, direction, and vision. Employees respect him not only for the results, but also for the confidence paired with humility. A leader who is proud but not arrogant understands an important thing. Success is not for boasting, but for leading, inspiring, and creating opportunities for others to grow. When you are proud but not arrogant, you create natural trust and respect. Others feel motivated to learn from you. You maintain sustainable relationships with your team, clients, and partners. Look at everyday life. A sports coach wins a championship. He is proud, but does not belittle other teams or act arrogantly. Instead, he shares his secrets, guides young athletes, and inspires everyone. That is pride without arrogance. You know your value, but you do not make others feel inferior. An arrogant leader, on the other hand, boasts about achievements, imposes opinions, and wants others to see them as a symbol of power. The result is that others find them distant, inapproachable, and gradually lose trust and respect. This principle also relates closely to how you reward and recognize your team. A leader who is proud of personal achievements, but emphasizes the team's efforts, will make employees more confident in their abilities, more committed and loyal to shared goals, eager to learn and strive daily because they feel fairly valued. Ask yourself, am I proud of what I do without making others feel pressured or inferior? Can I share results and inspire while maintaining my credibility and authority? Am I using pride to elevate my value and that of my team, rather than to boast or be arrogant? If the answer is no, then today is the time to practice. Learn to be proud but not arrogant. Acknowledge your achievements. Recognize others' efforts. And always lead with confidence combined with humility. When you do this, all 5 golden principles of leadership will combine to create a leader who not only has strength, influence, and credibility, but also inspires and motivates sustainably for everyone around them. And now, when you have understood and remembered the 5 golden principles, strong but not rude, kind but not weak, courageous but not bullying, humble but not timid, proud but not arrogant, you have a complete leadership framework, a formula to become someone whom others willingly follow, learn from, and respect. In the next section, we will guide how to apply these 5 golden principles to daily life and work, turning theory into practical action. So every decision and behavior of yours becomes a living testament to your leadership strength. Now, we are no longer talking about theory. It is time to turn the 5 golden principles into specific actions in work and daily life, because a leader does not just understand principles, but lives by them every day. Strong, but not rude. Dare to decide, but respect others. In work, there will be moments when you must make tough decisions. It could be choosing a business strategy, allocating resources, or handling personnel issues. Pause for a second. Are you making decisions decisively without imposing or threatening others? Example, you assign an important task to an employee, clearly explain the reasons, set specific expectations, but still listen to their opinions and support them. Result, they work effectively because they feel respected, not just following orders. Kind but not weak, care but maintain principles. Kindness is a powerful tool, but you cannot let kindness become weakness. In a challenging project, when an employee makes a mistake, guide and support them to improve, but do not compromise to the point of ignoring work standards. Example, an employee fails to meet a target. Instead of punishing immediately, you sit down, analyze the reasons, guide them on how to fix it, and set a specific timeline for improvement. You help them grow while maintaining work efficiency. Courageous but not bullying. Face challenges while maintaining respect. Leaders do not avoid conflict or challenges, but courage is not about bullying or suppressing others. Example, you must announce a budget cut or strategy change. Be transparent about the reasons, offer solutions, listen to feedback, and take responsibility for the decision. When you practice this principle, you build trust. Others will follow your decisions because they believe you are doing the right thing, not because they fear you. Humble but not timid, learn and be decisive. Respect others' opinions, but when you make a decision, stand firm. Example, in a meeting, a colleague offers a different idea. You listen, consider, but then decide based on the best evaluation. When you do this, you inspire learning while maintaining credibility and leadership authority. Proud but not arrogant, recognize achievements without overwhelming others. Acknowledge your and your team's achievements, but do not boast or make others feel inferior. Example, when a project succeeds, emphasize the collective effort. Share credit with the team, but still confidently show your leadership role. Result, employees feel valued, proud, and ready to contribute more. How to integrate the 5 principles into daily life. Every morning, remind yourself, how will I apply the 5 golden principles today? In every decision, ask, is this decision strong but not imposing, kind but principled? Listen and learn. When employees, colleagues, or clients give feedback, use humility to accept it, but maintain the right stance. Recognize achievements. Be proud of your efforts and results without arrogance. Acknowledge others' contributions. Practice continuously. Every day is an opportunity to refine and strengthen these principles. When you truly apply the 5 golden principles, you will not only become a great leader, but also someone who inspires, motivates, and elevates the value of everyone around you. You will see that your influence on your team, community, or family comes not from titles, but from your character and daily actions. In the next section, we will conclude all 5 principles, offer broader lesson, and encourage action. So viewers leave not only inspired, but ready to act immediately. Now, I want you to understand something important. Principles are not theories to read once and forget. Principles are to be lived every day. That is how you create influence, how you inspire, and how you build lasting respect from those around you. Think about your life. Every decision, every action is an opportunity to practice these principles. You can apply them right now in your family, work, or relationships with colleagues or your team. A timely compliment, a decisiva decision, a kind gesture, all can transform you into a leader whom others willingly follow. And remember this saying, I want you to engrave in your mind, it is not the money, it is who you become. True strength lies not in titles or power, but in your character, attitude, and how you act every day. A great leader is someone who uses their influence to elevate others' value, not to boast or control. Ask yourself, have I lived by these 5 principles today? Are my decisions strong but not rude? Am I kind but still maintaining principles? Am I courageous without bullying? Am I humble enough but not timid? Am I proud of myself without being arrogant? If you have not done so, do not worry. The leadership journey is a process, and today is the start. Begin with one small, specific action. Thank a colleague. Make a decision you have been hesitating on, or take time to listen to someone you often overlook. Every small action accumulates and will create significant change over time. And finally, keep this question in your mind. What are you thinking? What is holding you back? Use that question to reflect, to act, to grow. Hold on to that change. Nurture it. And every day you will become the leader you aspire to be. Someone whom others respect, learn from, and follow willingly. Remember, every great change starts with small steps. From today's decisions, from your actions. Do not wait for perfection. Do not wait for opportunities. Create opportunities and make every day a chance to become better, stronger, and more positively influential. So now, take action. Apply the 5 golden principles. Start with the first action today, and you will witness the true power of leadership spreading around you.